Welcome to another exciting episode of the Velvet Podcast. In our episode 1, we dived into common conflict sources between fashion designers and their clients. The entire conversation was centered around the challenges designers face when working with their clients. But the story is not always one-sided. Many a time, the designers themselves contribute to this problem. In today's episode, we want to dive into certain things these designers find themselves doing that equally contribute to these challenges in the design process. From overpromising to lacking technical expertise in executing or bringing the client's vision to play, many others. We will be diving into this. We are proudly sponsored by Limpa Fabrics. If you're a fashion designer watching me and you haven't stepped into the stores of Limpa Fabrics, I don't know what you have achieved in life. Walk into that shop and have a feel of a real couture haven. I'm Dr. Clement Asem Enyura, your host, and we go for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We will be back. Dear designer, are you in search of a one-stop shop for all your couture fabrications? Whether you are crafting stunning wedding gowns or elegant dresses, Limpa Fabrics is your ultimate destination. Limpa Fabrics offer an exquisite selection of luxurious fabrics, from bejeweled embroidered laces to silk organzas, silk mikados, timeless pieces that will bring your designs to life. Visit us in East Legon on the Adringano Road. Contact us on 0256 949 413 or 0559 997 978. Visit us on Instagram at Limpa Fabrics and have a feel of our exquisite fabrics, which will dazzle your mind and bring your designs to reality. Walk into our shop and experience a true couture haven. Welcome from that quick break. Today, I'm blessed to be having in the house two talented couture designers based right here in Ghana. Introducing the founder and creative director for Rev Atelier, Mr. Abel Dogbache Akaglan. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr.
I'm so
Clement.
excited to see you today.
I'm excited to be here too.
Thank you very much. Also introducing the creative director and founder for Shapes by Nelson, Mr. Godwin Ama Nelson. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Velvet Podcast. We have a tradition here before the conversation. We have to smoothen our voices with a velvet. So let's go. Okay. Welcome, Velvet Podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, this smoothens the conversation. Very velveteen.
Right, I like it.
Yeah. So we want the conversation as honest enough, as clean enough,
right,
and as beautiful enough.
And very relatable too.
The Velvet Podcast. Now, Rev, tell me. I mean, now you are doing so incredible strategically.
Thank you.
How is business?
Business has been okay. Yeah. I mean, at some point in time, you need to relax a little bit and be more focused on structure. So I've been quite subtle now, but still doing me.
But I feel it's more strategic. That is how I see it. Because I mean,
very.
it's not about being all over the place.
Right.
But it's about doing things that is right.
Perfectly said.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Nelson, I mean, all the social media bars. I mean, I saw the recent Vicky James piece. That was quite epic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And all the amazing Kevin women you are dressing. How is business?
Work has been great, challenging but rewarding as well. Yeah, I feel like every challenge teaches me something new each and every time. So it's been good.
I can just imagine. I mean, couture business is crazy, from dealing with your clients to the entire staff and all that. But God have given this gift to you guys, and I'm sure you are empowered enough to journey each day at a time.
Pretty much.
Congratulations.
Thank
now
you.
Let's get into the conversation. On our previous episode, we dived into common conflict sources, and I'm sure you've watched that episode.
Yeah.
We addressed various challenges designers keep facing all the time in dealing with their clients. Now, this entire story is not one-sided, because I personally believe designers equally contribute to these challenges. Online now, there is something that everybody knows. You don't even have to be in the design business to see what is happening. If you follow certain fashion blogs or general blogs, you see them posting certain images, showing what I ordered versus what I got. It's all over the place now, which shows that clients comes to designers with inspiration, their vision, and they believe in you as a designer to help or bring that vision into reality. You know you don't have that ability, but you still agree to do the work or take on the work. And you now create something. The person brought a piece that shows fullness, pulling around in 360. You now, when you are done with the piece, they fit it and it's not giving that vibe. And you tell them the person was dancing in the video, they should dance before they would see that this is it. With your businesses, what's your take on taking up works that you don't have the ability to execute? How do you handle it? Do you tell them to go because you can do it? How is it like?
I think it's a common issue, and it's about time that we understand that once you're not in a capacity to do something, it's okay to probably refer the client to someone who is well able, or maybe outsource from your end to someone who can do it and do it well. And I also feel that a lot of times we're more focused on what we can do rather than trying to build expertise, get extra training, do short courses, and enrich ourselves with like proper knowledge, because fashion is evolving every day. What used to happen in 2018 is not happening in 2025. So you need to upgrade yourself to be able to do what your clients need or fit into the modern market. However, you should also be in a capacity to outsource to a colleague designer who you feel would be able to execute that, whether you're still building, maintaining trust with your clients and preserving a very good name for your business.
Wow. This is like the first time I'm actually thinking or hearing this, and I feel it's so powerful. You take up a job that um, you have been blessed with through your client. Maybe it's a big deal. However, you believe you're unable to do it, but you know someone who can actually execute that. You outsource it. That's like a brilliant idea.
Oh yes, it is. A lot of times I do that when I'm sort of incapacitated. I mean, I have colleague designers who are doing exceptionally well. So in instances where maybe time constraints or maybe I really cannot execute what the client need, and sometimes too, it might be that not necessarily working for a client, but maybe you are trying to build a portfolio. So there are some details or techniques that you want to explore, but maybe at that instance, you're not in the capacity to do that. If Ships by Nelson is well vested in that field, and I have that relationship with him, I should be able to reach out. I'm doing this. I need your take on this. I need your help on this. Or maybe, can you do it for me if you're chanced? Then, with that, I'm able to execute whatever I'm doing and then still maintain my relationship with my client rather than doing what trying to do what I can't do and then disappointing my client in the end. Because you are a creative person and your clients come to you with expectations. So once the expectations are not met, already you are like a bad nut.
Great, great. That's totally incredible. And then to Ships by Nelson, picking a thing from what Rev said, you can take up the work, but if you know you can do it and you have an industry person who is well vested in that direction, you can contact them, discuss with them. It's a deal. They get to do it for you. Let's say you are trying to build a brand, and usually with brands, you would want to keep in everything in the company because you have a brand DNA. You have certain aesthetics or certain things that are just associated to your brand. In cases where you feel, yes, you don't have the ability, but a friend can do it, but due to the fact that you want to protect what you are doing or what you are building, what are you going to do?
Okay. I would say that when it comes to our work, um, there is time that you would have to talk to the client. Let's say she comes with something that you feel like you can't properly execute it. one, you have a consultation where she brings a inspiration for you to build on. It doesn't necessarily have to be the exact inspiration that she brings. You can talk to her, you create something out of the inspiration that she brings, something that you think you can execute properly. So I feel like one, you need to talk to the clients. Oh, maybe I wouldn't be able to do it like this, but I have a way that I could do it and it will come out nice as well.
Perfect. I think this also makes sense. Meaning you can see the inspiration when you see a hit around certain areas you feel you don't have the expertise. You can be able to influence them to some
Yes,
certain direction. Oh,
yes.
okay, even this place, I feel it won't look good here. Can we do this and all that? It's a smart move, meaning you have to be knowledgeable enough, convincing enough
Enough
to be
to
able to reinforce them to believe that, yes, if this part is taken off and done this way, it will look
it will
good.
look good.
Fast forward, you feel you can do it, right? Because some of the works you may envision it in a certain way. You now go ahead to what? Make the piece. But after designing it, you realize it doesn't look close to the original. What do you do in such situation?
Um, you do the work, it doesn't look close to the
Exactly, like
design.
you've agreed to it, and the client's expecting you to bring that vision in play, and you know you can do it. Now, after getting your team on board, the work is done. However, you see the result, it's not like the original.
Okay, so for me, instance, I would want to do the work again. Like I'll get to talk to a colleague to for he or she to explain it to me on how to go about it. I feel like you reaching out to your designer friend, someone who is your friend and he or she is in the same industry, you can reach out to the person for the person to help you in certain areas that you fall short in. Yeah, so I feel like, let's say me not doing the exact thing that I'm supposed to do, I can reach out to someone who I feel like is good for the person to help me out to
Great.
Right,
create
That
it.
right.
totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Then back to you, Rev. We have some designers, after the piece is done, they holistically know this is not the client's vision, but they still have that tenacity of purpose to book fitting with the client to come in and fit the piece. And the client comes and they feel like, no, this isn't it. How do you solve this problem when the client is around and the client tells you clearly, this is not my vision?
Okay, so from my point of view, I think that already holding on to the what you've created that is not um actually representing the vision of the client and waiting for them to come in is bad business. Once you're working and you're realizing that, okay, you've taken the order, you have expectations that, okay, maybe I can do this. And then maybe in the course of the production, you realize that, no, this is not forthcoming. It is right for you to communicate to your client. Be open as as possible as you can be and tell them that I thought this would go this way, but at this point, it looks like it's not forthcoming. So I have this other idea that we can execute that would work proper and then come to terms with the client. They would be very understanding at that point, but also make sure that whatever you're presenting to them, which is outside the original agreed scope, still makes sense. Like, I mean, once you're having consultation with your clients, it makes you know them, know what they can wear, what they won't like. Because
Great.
that is what the consultation is all about. Let's discuss your vision, your personality, your fashion sense, and all of that. I have all of these conversations during my consultation.
Consultation.
So once maybe a particular agreed detail isn't working because of either lack of expertise, that moment I have to communicate with my clients. I don't have to wait till you're in my office for you to come and see, and then I have to, it's not good. I
Great.
definitely would have to communicate firsthand before you even come to see what we've created for you.
It totally makes sense. I mean, regardless of how incredible your brand is online or what you do, we all don't, you can't always be perfect. Sometimes there'll be challenges, and it's very important to admit it. Seek for help, as our designers have mentioned. You can call a colleague. It's a designer, you know, this person is very good at making stuff like this. Ask a thing or two. Even when the piece is done and you're not so confident about it, try to figure things around. You don't have to present that vision to a client knowing that isn't what you've discussed is very important. Now let's move on to this. I know everybody will tell you if you're running a business, put emotions aside and treat business as business. Being in the couture business, you guys are in the couture business. I feel the business you guys are running, there we have emotions playing in. If you have a bride, this is somebody who is on a journey to become something. Sometimes we have brides that even come to you last minute and tell you, oh, somebody was working on my wedding gown and I came into the country, the gown is terrible and I need another gown fixed. Somebody to, and sometimes the stories are just crazy. Being human, you listen to such stories and you want to help. I know most of you, you do this. Imagine somebody coming to you just 5 days or a week to their big day and they tell you they're in a mess, but they can trust you to create something for them. And at that point, too, you're also filled with a lot of stuff on your decks, but you wanting to help these people, you go ahead to accept the work, which most of you do. And when you accept the work, you end up disappointing the client. What is it with your decisions to take up last minute works or works that you don't connect the dots to know you can deliver?
Doc, like you rightfully said, emotions play a lot because we're humans. A lot of times you see clients in panic mode and then you want to help. Now, one thing I have come to learn in business is that once you commit to something, it is strictly that. We stand on business. We don't stand on emotions.
Yeah.
As a business person, you should be able to put emotions aside, regardless whatever situation you're dealing with. Because like I mentioned, once you make a commitment and tell the client that I will be able to deliver, there are no two ways about that. No other conversation aside that. Right. So if you're working, examine, there are some instances where genuinely you want to help and then you can help. But there are some instances that you also cannot help. You should let it be known. Relatably, I've been in such a situation, and then I had this lady who wanted me to, she has always wanted to wear my brand. So she wanted me to make something for her. And then I gave her an ultimatum that I should have fabric by this time. Once I don't get the fabric, I'm sorry. Because already at the time that you're coming, we have very limited time for production. And my production team is very busy. So the time, once the fabric does not come at this time, I'm sorry, I can't make it for you. So unfortunately for her, fabric still wasn't ready at that time. Fabric came in, I think 2 days late after the timeline I had given her. Then she kept begging, I said no. I was standing on business.
Yeah.
I
Because
said
already,
no.
it's a late order.
Right. I said no. And then she went to see another friend of mine to come and talk to me and beg me. I said no. I tell you, it was overwhelming. At some point, I had to give in.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately for my brand, we delayed a little bit. Because like the day she wanted us to deliver the dress, we were not done with it.
Yeah.
So it was like a day late.
What you went through.
The messages I received from this same lady.
You were trying to help. Who
I was
actually
trying
delayed.
to help. Yes. The messages I received, like I was shocked. And but you see, I should have still stood on business.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah. Yeah.
I made emotions play and I took the order.
Yeah.
At the moment when I delayed her, she did not make emotions play. She had to also stand on business.
Standing on business.
So in business, I've grown to learn that your A should be A. If you can't deliver, you're not the only designer. Someone who is chance will be able to do it within that short period of time.
It totally makes sense. Then back to you, Nelson, particularly with wedding gowns. You know, you can finish making a wedding gowns, but still there is those little hold there, and all that. Still on late order. You have a job that came in a week or maybe 2 weeks. You've been able to like do it, but you're not entirely done. Because I know even there are situations that on the day of the wedding, that in the morning still these things do happen. Have you had a situation where you've disappointed a bride
I would say
by
no.
taking like last minute order? The disappointment is not that the gown wasn't ready for the wedding.
Okay.
But I mean, there was a delay.
Oh,
She had a gown.
yes.
However, there was a delay due to maybe late payment or something, which wasn't your fault.
Yes. Let's say brides who stay abroad.
Yeah.
Let's say knowing that you have to come in for fitting for us to finish with a gown, because it gets to a process whereby you need a fitting done before you can continue. Yeah. Bride will tell you like, I'll come 5 days to the wedding, which you know that 5 days you can't use it to finish the work.
No work.
But the bride will come 5 days to the wedding, and 5 days she's expecting you to finish with a gown before a wedding, which I feel like is not done. You tell them that come like a month to your wedding, or 3 weeks to your wedding, or 4 weeks to your wedding. They will tell you that because of work schedules, they wouldn't be able to come. So I always feel like when you talk to them, you tell them the work involved, because sometimes they feel like it's just a normal thing, but they don't know the work that goes, especially when it comes to wedding gowns. Finishing of wedding gowns is very, very, very difficult. It takes a lot of time. Yeah, so I feel like if you tell them and they feel like, no, I can't meet your time, you just don't take the work.
I get it, but just as Rev mentioned, these are last minute orders. You've understood what they want. You've agreed to it. After you've agreed, whatever happens, you have to take up responsibility. Do you accept that?
Yes.
So if you accepted the work 2 weeks and you told the person to come in at least 8 days to fit so that you can continue the detailing, the 2 works and all that, and they don't show up due to 1 or 2 things, in their mind, just like Rev commented on, they expect you to deliver.
Yeah. I have just this week, there's this client who came in late. She was referred by a friend and she came in, and I'm sewing a kente for her, and we're done with production, and I needed her to come and do fitting before we do the beading. I called her on Tuesday that she should come for fitting. Tuesday she didn't show up. Wednesday she didn't show up. Thursday I called her. I'm like, would you be glad if I delay you? And she was like, no. And I was like, you were supposed to come for fitting. And if you weren't able to come, you could have called me or tell me something that would make me like know whatever I'm doing. She didn't call, she didn't do anything. And I called her, I'm like, if I delay, I'm not sure you would talk about it.
Yeah.
So I feel like if it gets to a point that you feel like you need to voice out to the clients and let them know that what they are doing is not right.
Great. You definitely have to voice out, but we are agreeing to the fact that since we've accepted the work, we have to take up full responsibility. Meaning, with all these experiences, we have to advise ourselves not to even accept such work.
Yes.
Right.
Because if
I
you
think
don't accept
that is
it, you won't find yourself in such situations.
You know,
But once
sometimes
you accept it, whatever comes with it, you have to bear
You have
it
to bear it.
and make sure you fix it.
yes, you have to bear it and make sure you fix it. But it all boils down to communication. Because I might have taken, like he mentioned, is a late order. On top of late order, you're also late and not coming for fitting. I mean, how does it work? I've taken the order and you're not coming for fitting. So straight away, I have to let you know that we're not going nowhere. At this point, you and I, we can't finish your dress.
Yeah.
That is standing strictly on business. Because your order, let's acknowledge the fact that your order is already late.
Yeah.
So, my dear, why are you also not coming for fitting? A lot of times, there's been instances where clients will tell you, oh, I'll come, you give them time. Then they will call you, oh, I want to go and I'm going to do my hair and do my nails before I come to you. And I'm like, you don't have your dress. You're going to fix your hair and your nail. Honey, what are you wearing? You see, so it has to be strictly on business. As creative, we need to put, sometimes they will call you, oh, I'm coming, but I'm running late. I'll be like 3 hours late. Then you are like, okay. So once you've committed to working on a late order, number one. Number two, once the client tells you I'm running late and you are saying okay without voicing out like he mentioned, you've committed again.
Yeah.
Which means that regardless them coming late, you're still going to deliver on the agreed date.
Yeah. You have to.
But once maybe you communicate and then you tell the client that, okay, you're supposed to come for fitting. Now you're running 2 hours late. Like he mentioned, we might be 2 hours late for your delivery.
Yeah.
Are we on a good note?
Yeah.
Or maybe we might be 3 hours. I mean, it's a different ball game if we have like a longer production time. So if these things happen, changes with dates, maybe it wouldn't really affect.
Good.
But once it's a late order, we should be able to voice out any inconveniences that are arising in the production process.
Yeah. And then connecting both of you, your submission to one thing comes in play for my next question, which is on communication. Communication is not just in our business. I think it's just a virtue of life. Anything we do or we find ourselves, the word communication is very important. And one major challenge we believe clients equally face with designers, one, communication. A lot of you tend to deal with the clients directly. Some of you even haven't learned how to even separate your private numbers from your business numbers. Because once you start this business, have a different number. You know this is the work number. And I know some even have their work numbers, but they'll still go on when they have a client, they'll just, oh, this is my number. And you end up bringing these clients onto your private phone. So the person will tell you, I called you, I've been calling you are not picking them. If the person was calling your private line and your line was somewhere, and if they had called a work line, somebody would have picked up. So communication skills, we have clients that keep complaining. Maybe somebody handling the WhatsApp, a kente have to be confirmed, a fabric have to be confirmed, they will text, they are waiting. What is this whole thing about your communication process? Are you intentional about having someone who understands your process, who will handle your phone, understand the clients you have, know when to get to them at what point? Or you have to juggle all these things by yourself? Nelson, you should come in first on this.
Okay. I feel like communication in our industry is very, very key because when you communicate to the client, then you wouldn't keep her in the loop.
Yeah.
You get it? But like if you don't communicate, they get like anxiety and all that. Yeah. So I feel like me for instance, I'm not really good with communicating.
You are not. You don't have a personal issue with you. Personally, you are not. Be picking my calls on time. Okay, continue.
Yeah, so I feel like missing your private number with work line is very, very wrong because there are times that you want to free up your mind, you
Yeah.
want to
And be
like do
creative.
something on your by yourself and all that.
Right.
Then work will be interacting and all that. Yeah, so I feel like you get someone who understands your work, who would
Yeah.
be able to reply messages all the time, give updates to clients whenever they need it and all that. I feel like with that, it would make the work smoothly.
You are very right. And I appreciate the fact that, you commented personally you are not really good with communication,
Yeah.
but I like the fact that you have someone,
Yeah.
an assistant, because
Yeah.
usually if I don't get you, immediately I get him.
Yeah,
He will
he'll
pick
be
up
able
and
to.
he's always, so it's
Yeah,
a good thing.
yeah,
Since
yeah, yeah.
you don't have the strength to do that, you
Yeah.
have somebody who is equally
Yeah,
excellent at
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
And
great.
also, let's say in the production line too, um, you're not able to, let's say when the bride came in for consultation, she chose a fabric that you feel like, oh, this fabric is out of stock. You would have to communicate with the client first before you proceed. Sometimes we don't communicate with the
Then
client.
you change it.
You change the fabric. You don't tell them
On your
anything.
own time.
You have to
Yes,
involve them in the
yes,
entire
yes.
process.
And when they come, then you'll be telling them, oh, I wasn't able to get the fabric. I feel like right on the spot, you are supposed to voice it out to them that, oh, this is the problem that I'm facing. My fabric has delayed, or this and that. Then they will, like, their mind wouldn't be on
What you've agreed on
what we've
previously.
agreed on
They
previously.
understand there is
Yes,
a change.
yes, yes.
That totally makes sense. And Rev, still on communication, change of style or design. We've had incidents where maybe, let's say you're making a mermaid, but it was a design, you had accepted the fabric from the client. However, during the pattern cutting stage, you realize the fabric is not enough. So maybe a column fit will be ideal. You don't tell the client because we have a lot of you keep changing the client's idea
Okay, so
without communicating.
so in life in general, you can't underemphasize communication. It's like once you are ready to build any relationship with anyone, communication is top notch. There should be constant communication at every point in time. For me in my business, I always, during consultation, I make sketches, we agree on. I tell you the number of the yardage of fabric that I would need to execute my design. So I barely would face like a problem where during production maybe we don't have enough fabric, because before production starts, we would have started with our scheduling, would have gone through our pre-production processes, analyzed fabric with the style, analyzed the design details and all of this. So once production starts, we have the adequate yardage of fabric that we would need. But I think my challenge sometimes on communication has been, maybe, you see, sometimes you can see an inspiration with a particular detail and then you want to execute that on a
Yeah.
client's design. You
Okay.
understand? And
Okay. You
then
feel it
during
will
the
look good.
you feel it will look good. But maybe you have, let's say you have like a month. But looking at during the production, you realize that this thing would take more time than I actually
Good.
anticipated.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have to communicate and let the
Yeah.
client know that, okay, we envision doing this, but at this point, it looks like if we are to go by that, will be behind time.
Yeah.
So maybe if there's possibility to adjust the time,
It
then we
will
can
work.
execute. But if not, we would have to consider another detail. Sometimes that has been my challenge, because sometimes I'm trying to still make it work. I'm
Yeah.
still hoping that it would work. Then maybe
You want to blow the mind of the client.
obviously once
Yeah.
once you're in this industry, like your clients want to walk into your space and say, wow.
Yeah.
That is why they will book you, because it's a very competitive industry. There are lots of other creatives who are doing exceptionally well. So for me, during my consultation process, I always ask my client, why do you book me?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that I know what to emphasize
their
on them
expectation
more.
as well.
Right. Because maybe the client is booking me because when they look at my dresses, the fit is good. When they look at my corsets, the structure and everything is good. Someone is booking me just because of my detailing.
Yeah.
You understand? So it means for a client like that, if I focus more on other things than the detailing, they will come and not really be wowed. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So I think communication is very necessary and it cannot be underemphasized.
Great. Great. Communication is very key and it's very important we communicate all the time. Now we are moving on to investing in our skills or our ability. You know, somebody will tell you there is nothing new under the sun, but there is innovation, there is creativity. There are a couple of new ideas coming up all the time. I know a lot of you, you are always busy, you are always buried with your work, it's back to back for you. Even family lives and personal relationships become a struggle because you don't even have time to show up for your friends or family because you have to fix your client's work. You have to make them happy. It's very important. It's something I believe in that occasionally you try and learn on the job. Learning on the job is not just going to use the sewing machine.
No.
Mm,
Sometimes it can even be a business course. You
yeah.
can do a business course. You can do a course on even how to manage your staff. Then we have the technical side as well. Because we need to see the business grow all the time. I want to actually put genuinely, how is continuous learning important for you? Because most of you, the challenges you go through is because you don't learn. If you are learning and you are empowered enough, you would avoid, like, we won't even, you can avoid it, but you don't like learning. There be some How is continuous learning
At
important to
this point,
you?
you sound like my father.
How is continuous learning important to you personally?
Okay, so for me, education has no end. I
Yeah.
mean, from through primary school, we kept reciting this, education has no end and all of that. As a business person, you should always learn. If you are not learning, then you're stuck on being old fashioned
Yeah.
because fashion is changing every day. Things are happening. The new creatives are coming with a different energy.
Yeah.
Like the Gen Zs now, very bold,
Yeah.
very outspoken,
Mm-hmm.
very dramatic, and all
Yeah.
of that.
Saucy
And
sassy à la maison.
their expressions are seen in their designs.
Yeah.
And that is what everyone wants to go with now. It's the modern fashion now.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They want to be on social media. So they every day they have to create something different. So if you are, let's say, a designer from the millennial and then you're not matching up the energy, obviously you are fading
Yeah,
out.
you die
Because
of.
client taste also changes.
Yeah.
Yesterday they wanted no corsets. Today they want
Today.
No concept.
corsets.
Mm,
Yesterday they wanted corsets. Everyone wanted, I remember from I think 2019, 2020, thereabout, every client wanted to wear corset with the ribbon showing
Showing
at
at
the
the back.
back.
yeah.
If they don't have the ribbon
At
tied
the
at the
back.
back like a bow,
They
they are
don't
not
like.
having it. But today they don't want the ribbon showing at the back.
They
They
want
want
it
the corset,
invisible.
but they want it hidden. So
Yeah.
you have to update yourself. Know that okay, at this point, this is what is in vogue. Some
Yeah.
people don't like to do trendy stuff, but you still need to up your game and learn. That's why I'm so excited that you keep organizing these master classes
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
people come and periodically upgrade themselves and update their skills. It is
Exactly.
very important to learn. Once you're not learning, my dear, you're fading out.
You are fading out, and yeah, who be
Yes.
That
Nelson, what about you? How is that important to you?
I would say that with this industry, fashion keeps on evolving each and every time. So you taking your time to learn like broadens your mind, it broadens your techniques.
Yeah.
Because if it gets to a point that, let's say, a client comes with a trendy stuff and you are not able to execute it, you wouldn't you wouldn't get clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are in a world that like they want to be out there. They want to wear things that are out there. They don't want to wear old fashioned. So I feel like we learning each and every time would broaden our mind and our techniques too
And it will
as
help
well.
us
It will
not to
help.
disappoint
Yeah.
our clients and connecting still with you and connecting to what Rev said. Imagine now, I mean, let's say I hear ships by Nelson, ships by everywhere, ships by Nelson, ships by Nelson. The feeling for you as a brand, like I know you were excited about the bars and all that. So imagine you're unable to sustain that, and after a period of time, the whole ships by now, so you don't hear it again. How will you feel?
One thing about me is that I want to be consistent.
Good.
You get it? So if I feel like um, I'm lacking something and that's making me fade out, there I want to do something that would make me known.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
You remember last year I called you that I want to have like a
Yeah, the
one-on-one
class.
master
Yeah.
class, yeah, because I felt like it was getting to a point that I felt like I was fading out.
Yeah.
So I needed something that would put me up there again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the same learning.
Yeah.
You learn, you upgrade yourself,
Yeah.
then you try to do things that you are comfortable with each and every time. You
Great.
don't take things that you feel like you wouldn't be able to execute it.
Yeah, it makes
So
sense. And as you empower yourself too, it's very important to also empower your team.
team, yeah.
Because if you are empowering yourself and your team members too, they are in the old
Look,
era, or you leave
you're
them
not
behind, it will
going.
still come back to affect the brand.
Yeah.
For example, if you have somebody who is in charge of customer service and you are enlightened, you know how to talk to your clients, but
So
they don't understand how to do it, it will still come back to
There'll be
you.
a
Yeah,
lack
I feel like once a while you need to like have like a workshop where
with
you
your
have like
people.
people coming in to teach
exactly.
your workers and all that, like trendy stuff, details and all that. Yeah, I feel like that one too would help.
Helps. I think to add up to what Shape said, a lot of people don't also like to learn. A lot of people don't like to learn, especially when they become very known.
Yeah,
They feel very comfortable. They feel like I'm on top of the world. Like I know what I'm doing. I don't want to. I don't like. They don't feel the essence of learning to upgrade themselves.
yeah,
They are all pompous, and then at some point you fade out. I remember my detailing team, my surface ornamentation team were packed with like some pressures. So we decided to hire um um someone to come and also help,
yeah.
but we didn't want the work done outside our premises, because I mean at every point I like to supervise and
And
check,
see what is
make sure that
happening.
it's aligning. And then so we had this gentleman come in, and then when he came, then I was asking him, but at that moment when he came, he mentioned that at the moment he was also quite busy with some few things, so he would be able to work weekends and overnights. I told him mostly within those periods, I am not
Not
around.
available.
I'm
Yeah.
not available. And he said, oh, okay, then once my assistant is there, he was like, he really wanted to do the thing. I was like, so what happens when you do the thing and then maybe I come in the morning and then it's not
Line
aligning?
and
He
yeah.
said, oh, he's a perfectionist. He can do it. Oh, he won't make any mistakes. And my dear, what this boy presented to me, honestly. So during the process, I mean, I don't like to owe. So during when
Mm,
he started, I had to pay him
mm.
upfront. When I came back,
Uba na also pe mono why
oh,
mutio.
me say, bruh,
Emutio pa ne nkasem
me say, why am mutu ni froy? It was that bad,
I can
and
imagine.
I realized that within the period that I wasn't around, even when my assistant and some of my other team members in that field were trying to correct him, he wasn't having it. He
Yeah.
felt like he knew it all, he could do it.
Do it.
And my dear, you are not doing anything.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not what I want. You're showing him this and he's doing. So we didn't even cross 1 week. And up to
Wow.
now, he has not even refunded me my money.
I can simply imagine. Now we are moving on to my very important one before we wrap up the conversation. Is going to be on expectations and contracts. You could do more of bespoke, and bespoke is very important for you to lay your policy. I mean, as a business, you should have your policies. You have to let the client understand before they come in. And I feel if you have a contract as well, it helps protect you a lot as a designer. It helps protect the client. And they wouldn't come and attack you knowing that you have stated certain things. In our previous episode, we even dived into this actually with an expert. We're looking at how we can manage our clients. How well do you guys use your contract? Because I know a lot of you even have contracts and you don't use them. How is your process like? Do you share your contracts or your policies with your clients before starting anything with them?
Okay, so I would say yes and no at the same time.
How do you say yes and no?
Yes and no because sometimes, I mean, you sometimes like you're all in the business like elements and then you do your things right. Other times
You are carried away.
you are carried away,
And that's when you are carried away. That's where you get the wahala.
That's when you exactly.
That's when you get a problem.
And you know, one thing I've learned bitterly is that once you don't lay down your policies, you would be taken for granted.
Yes. And it will come
Because
back
it's
to
like
you.
there is nothing holding you and me accountable.
Yeah.
You understand? I come to you, I book for a dress. If you are able to schedule consultation, why can't you enforce your contract?
Yeah.
You understand? We have it, honestly. But sometimes to enforce it is the problem.
You are not intentional about it.
Right. Sometimes a lot of us, I mean, we fall short. Sometimes we don't feel like the energy and the necessity until we're faced with a crisis. Then adrenaline rush comes in.
Why should you be faced with a
then you want to
enforce it? Now want to.
Then you want to enforce it. Then the next moment, once the whole thing dies down, then you go back to square zero. But it's a bad thing, I won't lie. I think that every designer should enforce their contract because there's a relationship. Something should be binding. Yeah. Something should hold you accountable. And one thing I've realized is that is in instances where you enforce your contract, you are always up to the tax because you know that there's something that I can be sued for.
Yeah.
So you're doing things like adequately. You're communicating. But moments when you don't communicate, it looks like, Nessa. So designers, we have to, with me, I enforce my contract, but I mean, I've fallen short at some point. But it's not a good thing to do that because I've had challenges in that area.
Great. Nelson, what about you? Is it always, do you do it holistically and you, or for you to, it's based on how you feel at the moment?
Yeah, it's based on how I feel at the moment.
It's based on how you feel.
Sometimes you are being carried away. And I feel like sometimes your problems comes from, let's say, if a client has been referred to you by a friend.
Because it's like from a friend, madam,
you don't treat him or her like as you are supposed to treat your other clients.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and even those ones are the clients.
Those that will bring the problem to you.
They are the ones who will be very problematic.
Exactly.
So I feel like we need to reinforce our
contract.
To add to what I said, I think that a lot of times to some of these things, we the designers are the ones handling them. That's also part of the reasons why we fall short.
Yeah.
But once you have like a system in place, maybe your client relations manager is there and is handling some of these things, they know that, okay, after consultation, the contract has to go.
The contract even have to go after the consultation is booked.
Before
you meet the client should be able to understand your policy.
No, so your policies must go, but the actual contract must be after the consultation. Because the contract also outlines the client's expectations and your expectations of them.
Okay, so if I understand you have a general, if I understand you clearly, you have a general bit of info the client should have before the consultation.
Right.
Then after the consultation, you have the one that will bind them to whatever you have discussed.
Agreed.
Is that what
Exactly.
You're okay, I get you.
So on my rate card, when you go through, you see all our policies, our booking policies, everything is there. So after the consultation is when I'll give you the actual contract because that outlines our price that we've agreed on, our payment schedules, payment
Okay,
dates,
okay,
and
okay.
all of
It
that.
makes sense. So
Yes.
that's we have the general contract or policies. They have to receive that before consultation.
Yes.
But after consultation, it's more tailored to whatever have been agreed on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, I think
Exactly.
I'll leave you both with one genuine advice, right? Um, I mean, I admire the talent, the energy we have seen on the continent lately. If you compare to a decade ago, it wasn't like that. And I like the fact that you guys are so competitive, you are creative, but it's our dream to see your brands grow. When I say the brands grow, we want to see the brands move beyond time. We want to feel longevityness. We want to see glow. So, and for you to be able to have this work, it means you have to be consistent with everything. So if you have contract policies, it's not about this client A or client B. It has to be sent, we should send it out regardless of whoever it
Whoever
is.
it is.
Because if you are not there, you still expect these things to work. But if you are there and with your team, you keep doing this, indirectly they understand. If you are also not there, they can also choose to send or not. Plus, if we want to see a brand that will grow, and if we want to admire this brand, these policies have to be enforced. I know your brand haven't gotten to, let's say, 20 years and all of that, but as a good business, you have to be thinking of who is going to take over. This, I know this is out of the conversation, but it's very important to me as someone who is very interested in what fashion education, you having a brand. What are your plans?
Mm.
Will you manage the brand forever at a point? Who is going to, what are your plans like?
Okay, so with regards to leaving a legacy and have it being progressive, in our creative space, especially in our area of applied art, I think it's actually a challenge. I mean, I think about it a lot of times. And then sometimes I get overwhelmed and then I stop thinking about it because sometimes you are wondering who would carry the DNA of the business forth. You understand? But it also looks very possible when I look at the designers in the diaspora. Some of them have been there since the 1900s and they are still
Yeah,
thriving, 1930s and all of that. I think that it has to be about not making the business just you, but ensuring that you have other creatives in the business
yeah.
who are also understanding of the vision and the DNA of the business and then carrying it forth. Because obviously, there will be a time when maybe I'm old and I can't really do the business. Does that mean that the business is dying off? No, it
Exactly.
shouldn't be the
It
case because
shouldn't be the
you've
case.
strived so hard to build something and the pain of watching it just die
Die
off
off.
will be very hurtful.
I really
So
remember the late Kofi Ansa.
yes.
Um, one of my special individuals, Don Arthur, actually took me to him when I was in senior high school. So I was mentored by him a bit. Look at Kofi Ansa passing on till now, this brand is nowhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Kofi Ansa's brand was so
Solid.
huge,
Yeah.
right? It also boils down to the conversation of it's not just about looking for strangers or people who understand your vision, but you can groom people. You have kids. How well do you introduce some of your
Oh yeah, I bring my son to work, but I also don't want to force it down
No,
his
it's
throat.
not about forcing it
So
down.
so
It's
so the
about
last
nurturing
time,
to see they can tap into the
right,
innate.
right. But you see that me, for instance, when I was in primary, this started. My friends from primary school would know this because it started from like I didn't really have anyone nurturing me, but the potential was there. I would make outfit for dolls and all of that.
You
My
you
sister,
you
you
had the
see,
you had the
so
ability.
so
Rev,
so
listen, it's not about you. You had the ability. Some of us we
right,
had the ability.
right.
We have a lot of family businesses that people we have third, fourth generational people who have inherited, and it wasn't that it's something they wanted to do, but it was because of the nurturing they had in the family.
So
Naturally, they will pick it up.
so you
At
see
a
what you're
point, if you see that your
saying.
son is not interested, you can leave your son.
No,
But
no.
please
So you see what you're
nurture your
saying.
son in it.
You see what you're saying from the business perspective.
Yeah.
I agree. I have even decided that one day, if I'm incapacitated and I can't do this, he should be able to at least handle the business aspect.
Great.
But I don't know about the creative aspect of it. That's why I was saying that you can actually have creative people also join your team, groom them, and then make sure they understand the vision and the DNA of what you hold dear.
Great. You
And
are
once
right.
that works, they can continue and maybe be shareholders in the business. Then they
Good.
know that okay, I'm building this with you, so they would also contribute their
Yeah, we're
quota.
excited about the new government, how they are tailoring bits around the creative side. So in fashion, hopefully we will have a well-renowned councils and we can enforce these kind of policies where we can have you brands to even register the brand for us to absorb the structure, absorb the DNA, you register certain things, and they can even help what high individuals in. If you want to even take a break, they can bring someone to manage the brand for us to see. So we pray that we are able to what
So
get to that stage.
right, that sounds good. I also think that some of the creative that are coming up should not just want to already go and start a brand. Sometimes I understand that you also want to start something and then watch it grow. Sometimes align with an already existing
Same
brand.
brand.
Brand,
I
yeah.
Do you
even have an
understand?
episode on this particular topic.
Yeah,
It's really a
I
challenge
feel
on the
some of these
continent.
upcoming designers should align with the brand. And then once you are doing good, the brand would definitely want to take you on. Because most of the brands in the diaspora, they are not just the creative lead is not just the CEO or the
Yeah,
creative founder. They are sub designers in the
the
brand who are
we're
also
also
who take
doing
up consultations and also are involved in the creative process. And I think it will be something great in Ghana to have other, maybe in my business I have four other
designers
designers.
on
You
board.
understand? Then
It's really
even in one
possible
day when I'm not there or even I'm not in the country, I know that there's someone who can also
to help.
help build the business and let the name be sustained.
Exactly. Ships by Nelson. I mean, for you, I see all the energy, the vibrantness, and all that. For you, how is it like in terms of having a team that you feel, if you're not even there, like they can still keep the
Keep,
energy,
yeah.
everything you bring on the table, they can keep it running for you?
Yeah. So I feel like whilst you are learning, you need to find one person or two. You feel like if I groom this person will be able to take up whenever I'm not around.
Um,
Yeah, I feel like you grooming someone to become not equally as you, but would be able to execute some work whenever you're not around would really help.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So you
having somebody who can actually take up when you are not
when
around,
you're not
but
around, yeah.
sometimes too, there are trust issues in relations to this. Do you have a contract with the person? Because you can invest in people. I know of a company. Actually, it's not in fashion. This person is into pharmaceutical, and they actually empower the team members so much to the extent that the person was actually heading their branch in Mumbai. Later on, they realized this person had gone to establish a competitive brand to the business and then he resigned.
Yeah, so I feel like before you have like a master class or you get to groom this person, there should be a contract because I made that same mistake and
Yeah,
like
I know and I really remember.
yeah,
Oh,
I groomed one of my workers and later on he left.
wow.
Yeah, so I feel
Yes, it's quite unfortunate. And I
yes,
actually trained the person. The
Wow.
person
yes,
actually promised me he
yes
was going to
to
stay
stay.
and he really appreciated the opportunity he
Yeah,
was given. A lot
yeah,
of things changed with the way
Mhm.
he was
yeah,
doing
yeah,
things,
yeah. So I feel
but
like
he couldn't keep to the
there
promise.
should be a contract. But as you said, family, you can within your family, you can get to see one person that you feel like, oh, if I groom this
Yeah.
person, because
Cast
he's a
your
family,
net
yes,
wide
he will be able to
to
execute my work whenever I'm not around to. Yeah.
great.
So as being said, my dad was a designer. Yes,
Exactly.
and growing up,
You were with him.
I was with him when I closed from school. I come and do some knitting, tacking, and all that. Yeah, so there I was able to learn one or two
To
things. So I feel like if you have like a family member, you feel like with my train family member, we are been so that you could groom no. Yeah, at a long run, he or she would be
it
able
will
to.
be helpful.
Yeah.
Hey,
That is
but
pretty
family contract in
amazing.
business is not for the weak.
It's not
Oh,
for the weak. I know.
it
It's
will
really not for
drain
the weak.
It
you.
will.
It's not
That
for
is
the weak.
pretty amazing. I'm excited we were able to get into this, and we've agreed that the design process is very challenging. There are times we as designers contribute to what the problem. It's not always what about the clients that contribute to this challenges. Many a time we as designers contribute to it, and it's about clear communication. Making sure whatever we've agreed on, if we have challenges, we will communicate, right? And taking up accountability, right? If you make a mistake, it's okay to apologize, okay to try to make it up to the client. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Rev, your final words. I mean, we are wrapping up on the Velvet podcast.
Okay. Okay, so it's been a great moment here.
Yeah,
I think we've highlighted a lot of issues that clients have with us, if I should put it that way. I think,
that you genuinely contributed
yes,
to
that
it.
we
It's
contribute
not about the
to
clients.
our lack of communication,
Yeah,
um, um, taking on things that are beyond us,
yeah,
disrespecting timelines and schedule,
yeah,
and also not training to be abreast with new techniques and procedures.
yeah.
And I mean, reinstating it once again has also brought a reminder to me to do my best to not be a victim of those circumstances again. And I entreat everyone listening to the podcast to also
And
ensure
watching.
that
Yeah.
they they do their best to put all of these business structures in place.
Thank you so much, Rev.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much. Nelson,
Yeah, as he said, we've highlighted some of the problems we face as designers because most of the problems too comes from us too as well. Yeah, so I feel like if we take accountability of whatever problem that we do cause, we need to work on it and build ourselves more each and every time. Yeah.
great. A very big thank you to our incredible guests for helping us dive into today's topic on the common conflict sources between fashion designers and clients. And this has been the client edition. We understand that the design process involves both the designers and the client. And it's very important we both take up responsibility to enable the process become smoother and rewarding. Also, mutual respect is very, very important. We all need each other to make this process beautiful. If you're a fashion designer out there and you are watching, understand that taking up responsibility when there are issues is very important. It's not ideal to even flare out when you see your client doing that. You have to be matured enough to hold things in a way and make sure you are enforcing your policies and your contract to protect you. I'm Dr. Clement Asem, and you are your host for the Velvet Podcast. And thank you for joining me. Please do well to subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed and activate the bell. Tell a friend to tell another friend this is the place to be. I'll see you in the next episode and be blessed.